Web3 TV.
Hello and welcome to Web3 TV. I'm Lisa Amnagard, and today we're at the Dubai FinTech Summit 2025. Joining me right now is Bhargava and Mugundhan from Haifin, a E-end subsidiary, right?
That's right.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us, Lisa.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
How's the day been so far?
It's been pretty interesting. A lot of fintechs, a lot of innovators in the room. So we are pretty excited and quite happy to be here.
And you?
Absolutely. We've been learning a lot in these events. So definitely we're just trying to learn the market, where we need to position ourselves when we need to get into new markets and so on. So an absolute pleasure to learn here.
And Mugundhan, I wanted to ask you a little bit more about Haifin. It's a subsidiary of E-end, and you're using blockchain and AI, and you're head of technology. So how does this platform work, and what do you guys do?
So we have built a platform which is enabling the lenders in the UAE to de-risk trade finance. In a nutshell, that's what we do. We just started this as a simple project, and what we really try to achieve is to solve an industry-wide problem. So if you really see this, it's competitors in the market who's joining hands to build a consortium which helped us to build this platform with their inputs, and we are enabling the industry-wide problem in terms of de-risking trade finance. This is what we do. It's an absolute, I would say, an accomplishment. The reason being, we were able to bring the competitors in the market within a room, agree on an approach, define a solution, bring it commercially to the market, and been successfully running it for the last 4.5 years.
Wow, it's amazing. And I know that there's been very many successful use cases from Haifin. So can you share a little bit more about what kind of results you've seen?
Absolutely. So like Mugundhan touched upon, the first use case is de-risking. And what we have learned is that a single company doesn't do wonders. It's a consortium effort actually that takes to the next level. And that takes me to something called as a co-creation. That's how we started our journey. And that takes us to the second use case, which is on digital bank guarantees. And we are excited to say that we have really accomplished some major things out here, wherein specifically that if I may touch on digital bank guarantees traditionally is a very, very, very paper heavy process. And it's not just about the stack of papers that keep on adding. It's about the warehousing. It's about the management and the potential risk that it opens up. So the banks came to us, and again, similar to what Mugundhan mentioned, it's a joint effort with the banks where we created a solution that is going to help them reduce the paper. That's an angle towards the ESG side of it. It also helps them to digitize their traditional paper-heavy process, and more importantly, reduce the overhead of fraud and the risk of, missing a paper. It's as simple as that. If I may quote something, there are instances where the bank guarantee or the guarantee paper has been lost somewhere in the room. And that is a big problem, because without that piece of paper, your guarantees are good for nothing. So with what Haifin is doing is actually digitizing that process by working with the banks.
You mentioned you're trying to prevent fraud. So what kind of fraud has Haifin been preventing?
So on the first use case, we have saved over 600 million dirhams till date, where we identified potential instances of double financing. Take it as a very simple example. I have a document, I want financing. I can go to bank A, get the money, and take the same document and go to bank B. Traditionally, there was no way that the banks could talk to each other. And what we created as a solution where all the competitors came to the room on a consortium, they are able to de-risk this particular solution without actually divulging their data, maintaining the anonymity, and more importantly, helping the country as a whole and industry as a whole to reduce fraud. So it's like I'm helping keep the banks to keep the fraudsters away and ensure that the good books and the customers are there, always encouraged on that.
Definitely. And I know that the basis of this is all on blockchain technology. So tell me a little bit more about how is blockchain technology disrupting or transforming fintech?
Look, when competitors, as I mentioned before, come into a single room to resolve a problem, we need to build the trust and transparency. The reason being, you both are competing. When I say you both, the participants in the network are vying for the same pie of business in the market, meaning they will not be happy to share the data between themselves. So this is the inherent feature of blockchain, which ensures that the immutability brings in trust and transparency within the competitors in the consortium. So this has been an enabler for us to build the solution around blockchain, having that as a backbone of the platform. And now we've been able to run this platform for the past 4.5 years, and we've been able to successfully prove the results as well, like Bhargava explained.
And if I may add to that, Lisa, it's basically, you put in one line, it's basically we are sharing the intelligence but not the data. That's what we're actually helping them.
And I guess that's one of the most important things right now when it comes to fintech, because there's so many companies, and one thing that is hard to get is user stickiness and trust, right? So
Absolutely.
Having this transparency with blockchain technology really solves that.
Absolutely. adoption is the key for any platform which has been running commercially in this region or across the globe, right? If you look into what we have been able to achieve is a consistent way of taking that risks towards the bankers so that they can have more confidence in lending. So this is what we are just keen in terms of improving the performance of the platform and bringing in new features which will ensure that the adoption is being kept consistent.
Yeah, definitely. And I think now going forward, blockchain technology, obviously AI as well, is going to play a larger role in
True.
fintech companies.
True.
And when I just look at the expansion, how are you looking to expand Haifin?
We're both horizontally and globally. So from a horizontal point of view, our first use case is pretty proven and successful in the market. So we are definitely having ambitions to expand in the international market, and we are looking to see how we can take and help those countries de-risk themselves, similar to what UAE has done. On the product portfolio, digital bank guarantees, as I mentioned earlier, is the next on the kitty, and you will see some really excitement news coming soon in the market.
Interesting. Well, for our viewers, they should check out Haifin, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you both.
Likewise,
Thank you,
Lisa,
Lisa.
and thank you,
Likewise.
Web3 and TV. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be bringing you more interviews. My name is Lisa Amnegard, and you're watching Web3 TV.
Web3.tv